Hi, in this session I'm going to create a form interface. Let's log in into the developing workbench. The purpose of using a form interface is to permit jumping from one screen of a certain model to another screen in another model, meaning if in this example I have in model BR I have defined a new object called manager. If I execute it and display this manager table, I will get the manager name, number, the manager role, and then another field which is the party number. The party itself, meaning all the details concerning the manager, his name, his address, the telephone number, was not developed in this model. It is all this kind of information was developed in another model. In order to enable me to jump from that screen to another screen, I need to create a form interface. How do I do it? So there are mainly three players in this game. The first player is this model, which is the consumer. We'll call it the proxy. In this case it is called a proxy form. There is the stab form, which is the provider of the service. In this case the model DV. If we show and display this table here, we can see all the information that is related to the party. This is where we have defined the party model. We see here the party number, the party ID, the name, and everything like that. So what we would like from the application that was developed in the BR to jump to the form which is defined in the model DV. In order to do that, we need to define the connection between the two models, and the connection between the two models is done through the CT. So we start the process by going into the CT and defining a BC, a new BC package. We'll call it external party ID, and we'll say which is the provider of this service. In this case the provider is the DV, where the application party was developed. Another thing we need to do is to define a new service called a new form component. A new form component, we'll call it also external party ID, and we'll say that okay, we need first letter in uppercase. Okay, we'll define a method. The method means that there is a certain parameter that is used in order to execute the form at the target model, and the name of the parameter that is going to use is external party ID param, and this parameter is from the type of long field, meaning it's an integer. So I've just created the connection between the requester, which is for now is an unknown requester, to the provider, which is the DV. I have to compile it, and if I refresh I will get it compiled. Okay, now we'll go to the provider, which is the stab form. The provider in this case is the model where we jump to. Okay, this is the party. Now, very important point is that the form that we are going to execute and that we are going to show is need to be a form of one operation only. It cannot be a double operation, meaning a father and a son, it can only be one operation and it can only have one occurrence. So we have defined a special form for that, 3,0,0,0,10, and it has all the information that is related to the header of the party. Okay, the number of the operation, we need to know it. This is operation number 3000. We can see here operation number 3000, and the name of the key field is party number, and it also has the 3000 number. And as we can see here, it has already restored. Okay, we keep in mind this information and we go and define a new forms tab. We go to the form tree and open a new stub form. It is quite confusing, the stub and the proxy. So the stub is the provider, is the target form in which on which we are going to execute as a result of moving from one model to the second model. Let's define the number of the form. There is no, let's use, let's say 3000 1 2 3. We call it external party ID stub, and here is where we relate the name, the stub form with the form that we have defined with the form that we have defined in the CT. This one, and we say which is the form that's going to be executed, that one. What is the operation? 3000. What is the number of the field that is going to be executed? Also 3000. And what is the name of the parameter that was defined in this for component? We remember we've called it external party ID param, and that's it. Here we have finished. We are doing the same thing at the other database, or the other module that requests this service. Over there we start with that form. Okay, this is form. This is the form from where we jump. So the number of the form is 38000. The number of the operation is 3800, and the number of this field is 3804. Just to make sure. We'll see here that this is number 3802. So it's good that I've checked 3802, and the number and the operation is 3800. Okay, so after we have looked at the information, we need to go back and define a form proxy. So we go here and we start to define a new form proxy. We can give it whatever number that we want. Just for good practice, we'll give it the same number as for the stub. We call it the same, external party ID proxy. We're going to use the same form component that was defined in the CT, and in this case now we are going to write the number of the operation from which we jump, also the number of the field that we use as input, and the name of the parameter that was defined in the CT. Quite complex definition. And now in order to check it, we need to add a button. So we'll add here a button. we're going to call it party, let's call it external party details, and we'll call the stab form 1, 2, 3. Let's center the text and make sure that this one has a stored value. We're going to log in again to be sure that we put store here. Now we don't have, so we store, and then we're done and we can check. Okay, we stand here, we press external, and we jump to the other database. Let's make sure that we can see down here a DV, meaning that we are positioning now ourselves in the target operation, in the target form. If we go back by PF3, we see that now down here a BR, meaning we are positioning now in the BR model. That means that by clicking a button, we have moved ourselves in the sense of pointing into from a certain model to another model, not like in the case of XML where we send a XML outside but still position ourselves in the same module. In this case we are moving from one module to another module. I think that's conclude our lesson for today. I hope you have understood everything. Goodbye and thank you.